What's your villain origin story moment? Paranormal hospital encounters. Have I ever been arrested? And the first rule I'd change if I became Surgeon General tomorrow. Today, we're pulling back the curtain and answering the boldest personal questions you've written to me. Nothing is off limits. So let's dive right in. Have you ever been arrested? No, I've never been arrested, never gotten in trouble. So you can be a doctor if you've been arrested, but there are limitations and a lot more invasive like background checks and meetings and boards to figure out if you can actually be a doctor. If you became Surgeon General tomorrow, what's the first rule that you change? So the Surgeon General in the United States is basically like the public health spokesperson. Doesn't necessarily work at a hospital office. They are the nation's chief health communicator, getting the information out to the people. So if I could change something, figuring out how we can be more preventative versus reactionary. Healthcare system is very reactionary. If we can figure out how better to prevent healthcare problems, I think we all do a lot better. Simple things like making labels 100% transparent. Like things should be a lot more active and happen faster. Do you prefer boxers or briefs? I like the combo. I wear boxer briefs. That way things are tight, but also there's freedom of motion. But I just don't like things riding up and I don't want anything in between the groin area. What do you guys prefer? What's the most awkward thing you've ever said to a patient by accident? I don't do it too much anymore, but you go in a room and there's a family member in the room, and instead of asking, sometimes you presume, I'm like, oh, this is your husband or this is your wife, and it's either their daughter, their boyfriend. It's like the wrong one, and you're just like a little embarrassed and off. That's like a common, simple one that happens to a lot of people. What's the hardest thing about having a successful YouTube channel? I'd say keeping it up, meaning I work a full-time job as an ER doctor and then do my best to continue on with content here. So it's everybody behind the scenes that actually keeps this YouTube channel going, and it takes a lot of work. My wife Jen, producer Michael, and then we have lots of editors and language translators that work really hard for us, for the team to keep the channel going. What is the craziest reason someone came into the hospital you work at? I wouldn't say craziest, but the ones that like baffle me the most would be, somebody literally checking into the hospital to get a work note for work. That's crazy to me because you're paying hospital bills and copays and using those resources just to get a doctor's note, or are in pain, which is fine, we can assess, but you didn't take any medication to help with your discomfort to see if it got better. I really hope people do some steps prior to coming to the hospital. Do you support any charities? Yes. My wife supports lots of dog and cat and animal shelters to help save them. So if you're ever interested in trying to help, you can check out her social media, Jen Barlow. And then also I've always had the opportunity to donate to Wounded Warrior Project. And then I donate my time to different health organizations as well. If time travel existed, would you go forward or backward to study medicine, and why? Definitely forward. So backward, it's cool, historical things, but we've advanced from there. So I would love to go forward in time because the future always gets better when it comes to this type of stuff and technology. Doctors may not be around in the future in the sense of robots might be doing that. The steps and the knowledge to get to those future moments would be pretty cool to see advancements, and might be able to see cancers eradicated and viruses not hurting humans. It'd be really cool to move forward in the future. How do you spend the holidays typically? Any unusual traditions? Most holidays I end up working. With my group of docs that I work with, we usually split. Half the group works a holiday, half doesn't. And then usually you can bounce around shifts and work different holidays. So we have the major holidays and the minor holidays. I usually work Christmas. I'm usually off New Year's. Thanksgiving is hit or miss, but a lot of times Thanksgiving, if I am off, it's just the single day, so it's hard to travel. If I go on vacation, typically with my wonderful wife, usually we like tropical areas if we want to just chill and relax and take some time off. But we both are big travelers and we love history, so we love going to older cities, different cultures, and actually immersing ourselves in those areas. This year, early December, going to London, going to Lapland to see Santa. Really cool, fun areas. You can see some Christmas markets. I know people sadly pass away at the hospital. That makes me think hospitals must be haunted. Have you ever had a paranormal experience? Me personally, no. And maybe it's just because I don't also pay attention to those things because I'm running around crazy. I work 8 to 9 hour shifts. I'm running around seeing patients. I barely get to eat. Literally, if you saw me eat now, not at work, I shovel the food in my mouth because I'm just trained to eat my food when it's hot because an ambulance might come in. But no, I've never seen any paranormal activity occur in the hospitals that I work at. What's a belief you had in medical school that you absolutely don't believe anymore? I feel like when I was in medical school, I was super nervous, worried if I would ever be like a good doctor or be able to be in charge, and that is gone. With the knowledge, with my experience, you throw me into the mix, I'm gonna get the job done and usually do it pretty well. So I'm not worried about that. That belief is gone. You seem super fit. Be honest, do you currently have a six-pack and do you follow a strict health diet? Yes and yes. Six packs are made in the kitchen. Yes, I work out, but eating healthy, watching what you eat, and actually to show a six pack, you basically have to have a certain amount of body fat or not on your body. And to be able to get there, it's like 80% dietary. And so it's not necessarily all the time exactly what you eat, but it's actually how much you're eating. So if people really want to get on that level, recommend you have to count your calories. If you want me to do a full video on diet and nutrition, please let me know in the comments. I will do that for you guys. Do you have any kids or want kids in the future? So no, we do not have any kids at the moment, but the perspective of having children in the future is on the table and we will see what happens. Would you rather treat a patient with absolutely no medical history or one who brings 50 pages of WebMD printouts with them? I mean, honestly, it would be easier just to treat somebody with no medical history, just a clean slate. The person who comes in with 50 pages from WebMD, it doesn't bother me either, just because WebMD typically will give you worst case scenarios all the time and always is cancer. It's good to ask questions. So that means somebody's done their research. You can ask the doctor and we should answer yes, no, or give you reasons why this is unlikely or likely. During your medical studies, what was the subject you've had the least pleasant experience with? Be it due to the difficulty of a certain subject or lecturers being bags, any reason. There's two worst courses in medical school: histology and biochemistry. Histology is the basically study of anatomy under a microscope. Half the time, like, you can't see what you need to see. Just didn't enjoy it. Biochemistry is really hard. Again, having the connection of biochemistry to medicine early on in someone's medical education is a difficult connection. All right, what's your all-time favorite book? My favorite book is The Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. It's just 4 tenets of being a good human being that really ring true with me. But from a fun book read, I did like The Life of Pi. I also like Dan Brown books. And then I actually like the author Jack Carr, ex-Navy SEAL, who's done many books and having to do with like the terminal list. Really enjoy those books. What's the craziest rumor you've heard about yourself? So my last name is Wagner, and we have a production company called Wagner Media Group. I just wasn't aware that there was another group with the last name Wagner that you don't really want to be associated with. The rumor was that I was like working with them. They're in a much different business. What's an ER superstition you secretly believe? Definitely the full moon. The superstition is when the full moon, you get weird, crazy things happen in the emergency department. Consistently, it does. Random weird things do happen. I mean, they happen all the time in the emergency department, but if it's a full moon, you just tend to notice it more. What's your villain origin story moment? The one that changed who you are today or still pisses you off. The only time I ever get mad is when something's not fair between 2 or 3 things. I just like fairness. I'll tell you that me being late to the airport really works me up and gets me all flustered. It's not really a villain side. It's more of like hero side. When my mother got really, really sick, realizing life is short, life is precious. A lot of things don't bother me. Have you ever seen any Christmas miracles in the hospital? I wouldn't necessarily say Christmas miracles per se. Have I seen miraculous things happen? Anytime we can save somebody's life, it's pretty darn miraculous. In the sense, if we do nothing, they're dead. And so the fact that another human can intervene and save another person's life, it's amazing. Yesterday, somebody's heart rate was 30. If we didn't intervene, was going to die, but we figured out potassium is high. And so you give somebody medications to bring that potassium down and they're saved. What's your New Year's resolution? every year or every day is always do my best, be the best person I can be, and be nice to everybody. That's always a good thing to have a good mantra about daily. For the year, I mean, big goals, continue to grow the YouTube channel, continue to grow my supplement company. So always growing, always trying to better myself. And I have a question for you guys. What video would you like me to do for next year? Any cool collabs? Any special requests? Let me know in the comments. So these are really good. I actually like the personal questions. It lets me tell you about me in a unique way. But if you guys enjoyed this and you want more, please let me know in the comments. And as always, do me a favor, check out this playlist, binge watch everything. Please subscribe. We need this channel growing more. Hit that like button and turn on your bell notifications. Thank you so much for watching and have a happy and safe holiday season.